Welcome to this explainer, where we're taking a highly consultative look at how to choose the absolute perfect environment for your next corporate event. If you're an event organizer, an HR professional, or honestly, just anyone tasked with putting together a conference or a training program, you know exactly how high the stakes are. The environment you choose can quite literally make or break the entire success of your event.
So let's dive right in. When you're out there evaluating different venues, are you actually comparing apples to oranges? It's a trap that is incredibly easy to fall into. You might tour this stunning hotel ballroom, and it looks absolutely fantastic for a 20-minute keynote presentation. But stop and ask yourself, can that exact same room, with its fancy banquet chairs and dim atmospheric lighting, actually support a grueling 8-hour training session where your attendees need to be on their laptops all day long? More often than not, the answer is a hard no. To make sure you get this right, we're going to follow a clear framework today. We'll quickly cover the venue dilemma, unpack total event value, look at tech, comfort, and support, talk about making the right choice, and wrap up with the Carson solution.
All right, starting with our first point, defining the venue dilemma. Let's look at the fundamental differences between our two main options.
Let's break down the core DNA of these two spaces. On one side, we have purpose-built venues. Their absolute number one focus is professional meetings, training, and corporate events. Everything in the building is designed around business. On the flip side, we have hotel venues. Now, their primary focus is accommodation and hospitality, with events offered as an add-on service. Neither option is automatically better than the other, but their core foundation, meaning learning versus hospitality, drastically changes the type of environment you're actually booking. Think about it this way. If your top priority is accommodation and grand social functions, like a big gala dinner, a hotel is going to excel perfectly. That's literally their bread and butter. But when your primary purpose is business and you need specialized room layouts designed for all-day training, well, that's where the purpose-built venue really shines. It's quiet, it's professional, and it's entirely focused on productivity, completely free from all those typical hospitality distractions.
Okay, moving on to unpacking total event value. This is where we really need to shift our paradigm away from looking at basic room hire rates.
10, that is the number of crucial factors you actually need to evaluate when figuring out the true total cost of an event. Because let's face it, a venue that has a slightly higher upfront room rate often gives you way better overall value. Why? Because essential services are already included rather than being billed as expensive surprise add-ons down the line. So what exactly are these hidden inclusions? Well, you've got AV and Wi-Fi, catering, breakout rooms, technical support, additional furniture, and hybrid equipment. I really want to pause here for a second because this is exactly where event budgets absolutely blow out. You see the base room hire, you think, wow, I found a bargain. But then you realize the projector is a separate rental. Wi-Fi? That'll cost extra per user. Oh, you need a breakout space? That's another room fee. Suddenly, your cheap venue is costing you an absolute fortune. Always request an itemized proposal. Let's move into our third section, technology, comfort, and support. These are the physical elements that will make or break your day. Let's start with a major modern necessity, hybrid capability. Listen, this isn't just about throwing a laptop on a tripod at the back of the room and hoping for the best. True hybrid capability requires the right cameras, the right microphones, dedicated screens, enterprise-grade internet, and crucially, technical support on standby. Hybrid success is entirely dependent on the specific, tested technology that is physically built into that room. Next up is layout flexibility. The physical room has to match how your participants actually need to interact. Doing structured systems training, you need a classroom setup with plenty of desk space. Collaborative workshops, you're going to want a cabaret style. Facilitated discussions thrive in a U-shape. When you're assessing a venue, ask them outright. Do you regularly work with the exact layout I need? And does the room actually remain comfortable once it's set up that way? And that brings us to the food. Training catering should work around the agenda, rather than forcing the agenda to work around the catering. Does your current venue offer efficient schedules tailored to your business timing? Or are you being forced to take your morning tea at exactly 10 a.m. because the hotel kitchen has to serve a massive convention next door, totally disrupting your facilitator's flow? A purpose-built venue's catering flexes to fit your natural program breaks, not the other way around. And of course, we have to talk about full-day comfort. Your participants are spending hours staring at screens and trying to absorb complex topics. They need genuine ergonomic seating. We've all experienced those dreaded banquet chairs that give you a backache by 2 p.m., right? They need generous table space for their laptops, natural daylight to stay alert, and dedicated breakout spaces to just decompress. These critical elements keep attendees focused on your educational program instead of focusing on how uncomfortable they are.
All right, Section 4, making the right choice. With those value and comfort factors laid out, let's build a clear decision matrix. The most crucial point here is knowing your primary objective. You choose a hotel when accommodation is central to the event. If you're hosting a multi-day retreat, flying in delegates who all need to stay together, or putting on a massive evening gala, a hotel makes perfect sense. But if training is the central focus and you need comfortable seating, ultra-reliable AV, and full-day comfort without all those hospitality distractions, the purpose-built environment is for sure your optimal choice.
To guarantee you make the right call every time, run through this definitive 4-step checklist before you sign any contract. Step 1. Define your exact event objective. Are we here for learning or are we here for networking? Step 2. Assess what the participants need. Are they going to be on laptops or doing group work? Step 3. Evaluate the room layout and the built-in tech. And Step 4. Always compare the total event cost using an itemized proposal, not just that sneaky base room hire rate.
Finally, let's wrap up with Section 5, the Karsten solution, and why choosing a specialist matters.
If your objectives point you directly toward a purpose-built environment, it is absolutely vital to partner with a proven specialist. This is exactly where Karsten's comes in. They are a highly trusted specialist in the Australian market, providing purpose-built conference and training venues across all the major hubs: Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide. Because their sole focus is corporate events, their rooms are built from the ground up for business. You're getting seamless hybrid tech, true ergonomic comfort, and dedicated on-site support. Plus, for organizations running national programs, using a single consistent partner like Karsten's just massively reduces the headache of juggling a dozen different suppliers.
I want to leave you with this absolute core takeaway. The best venue is the one that supports the purpose of the event, not simply the venue category you have used before. Just because you booked a hotel last year doesn't mean it's the right choice for an intensive software rollout this year. Always let your event's objective dictate the environment.
So here's a final thought to ponder as we wrap up. Does your planned venue provide true total value, specifically tailored to learning and productivity? Or are you just paying to hire 4 empty walls? If you need an environment that ensures your attendees are focused, perfectly comfortable, and fully supported all day long, it might just be time to reevaluate your objectives and reach out to a specialist like Karsten's. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy planning!